Hello, Swiss Lazy Chef here. Today I'm gonna show you a very easy puff pastry snack, or for my kids I even call it a mini pizza. It's super easy to do, but with the ingredients it just gets much better. And it's easy, it looks nice, everyone loves it for if you have a little snack between the dinner or even as a first course, or just for the kids, even for a dinner or for a lunch. So let's have a look at that recipe. As for the ingredients, we're gonna have puff pastry. Then if you find some smoked salmon, even here cut in pieces, very easy. What we got also is dry tomato and some pesto sauce. All those three ingredients together, they are by themselves already very tasty and very profound. Yeah, so that means this easy snack will be very tasty and easy to do, and it already has a quality ingredients which makes it much easier or much nicer, much enjoyable, much more luxury. After you have chopped the dried tomatoes, and if the fish pieces are not very salty, which they aren't, then you can add a little bit of salt. And then just pre-mix those ingredients. And then for the next step, you just take this puff pastry. A lot of times they're coming on the baking paper already, which is very convenient. You open the whole puff pastry, roll, and you start to add with a fork or the spoon portions. Just keep a little bit of a space between these portions. I'm gonna make here 4 in a row. And if I make here everything compact, it becomes much easier later. For a nicer flavor, I'm gonna add a little bit of pesto sauce on each portion. But you see, I'm not even opening the bag entirely. Just cut off a little corner. And then it's very easy to make a portion because the bag is not open much. A little bit. And then it's much easier to give the right amount. Then I'm cutting it. I'm using one big knife. Just don't move the knife, just push it down onto the table. Why? Because like this you are keeping the baking paper entire, so it's easier later to put it on the tray. You can also use one of those. That's probably even easier depending on what you have. Now that's it. And then you can or have to also add some cheese. Some people would add some egg just to give a bit of a nicer color on the pastry. I'm doing this optional. If I have time to do it, then I would put some battered egg on the corners here just to add a nice brown color in the oven ultimately. But it's definitely not mandatory. It still looks nice, and this is an additional step in cooking that not all the people have time. At least I don't have time for it as well most of the time. And then you can take again a Parmigiano Gran Padano. This takes maybe a little practice to do it as I do it now, which is legit. Just don't push too much. You can also use it by hand. Put it on by hand. Make sure that it's nice and grainy. So beautiful. Now when everything is done, you can pull it, basically almost pull it onto a tray. Oven tray or a grid. Place it in the right form, like this, and it's ready for the oven. Now we can also put it in the oven with the same temperature like that I'm almost always use, which is around 180, 190, to bake it for around 10 to 15 minutes. I love it when this puff pastry is growing in size so quickly. So they should be ready. Very nice. So the puff pastry is ready and I've already prepared it. In case they're still sticking together, what you can do is just cut them into the pieces. It's possible that they stick together, and then you can basically just put it on a nice platter, and it looks delicious, and it is delicious.